Good afternoon, my friends. This is the Grimflayer. Hope you're all doing very well today, and I hope you're ready to rock. Hope you're ready to play more BGV rock, more Golgari Midrange, everybody's favorite deck, in Modern. Very briefly, before we do, I want to introduce you to a brand new, or almost brand new channel, Ironworks MTG. This is run by a Patreon supporter of mine, a great guy, Sal Malacola. And I always help my guys out. I always help my guys out how I can. So here's my shout out for you, Sal. And we've got a new channel that is, right now anyway, going to be focusing on the historic format. I am told that people are not creating content for historic on Arena all that consistently. And Sal on Ironworks MTG, that's IRE Works MTG, is hoping to fill that void, and he's a dedicated BGX player in Modern as well, loves Jund, loves the Rock, so maybe he'll be branching out from there as well. So everybody out there, if you're so inclined, that sounds interesting to you, please go check out Sal at Ironworks MTG. Now, we are going to jump right into a league, but we are looking at some modifications that I have made to the 5-0 list that we played on the previous Rock League on this channel, Golgari League number 40. So you might be saying, well, shouldn't we just run it back at least once? Because we did 5-0, don't we owe it to ourselves? And I would say, yes, we should. And in fact, I did. I did so off camera to a 3-2 finish. It was a fine league, but not terribly interesting. I wasn't recording it at the time, and I don't think it's good replay content, so I haven't uploaded it. But we have run back the 5-0 list. Finished 3-2, that's fine, but now we kind of have the freedom to make changes, right? We know that we have tried it a second time, and I think there is still some room for improvement from where our 5-0 list was, and I'll show you the 3 changes I made. The first 2 are in the sideboard. We are playing the card Choke. Now, I am still following my own advice from several months ago now, and I think it's panned out very well for me, of do not tech against blue-white control matchups by playing narrow cards like Choke, like Thrun, that don't do much in many other matchups, because the return on investment is not sufficient to merit the slots. However, Choke is not in here for blue-white control, it is in here for the Urza decks. This is a very impactful hate card when played on curve against any Urza variant. And as I said in my Patreon scouting report that just came out on Urza, well, if a hapless blue control mage happens to get caught up by our Choke as, kind of an incidental thing, it's going to be fine with me, right? It's going to be fine with me. So we've added a Choke. We've also added Vraska Golgari Queen. The meta is very fair. It's very value-oriented, very interactive. Vraska is good against Oko. Good against a lot of the things that surround Oko, and is good in a lot of other matchups like Jund. So we have replaced a Questing Beast and a Plague Engineer for these 2 cards. I consider Plague Engineer one of the most powerful cards in our deck, one of my favorite cards. I kind of vacillate between 3 and 4, more depending on what else I need to play than on the meta. If I'm not sure what my last slot should be, I'm very happy to just play a 4th Plague Man. But right now, I do like the additions of Choke and Vraska, so the 4th Plague Man has made way. It's not like the perfect meta for him to shine anyway, right? And so Vraska, I think, actually does double duty. It makes up for the missing Questing Beast when we are against other Planeswalker decks, when we're against Jund, when we're against Oko, when we're against Control, Vraska still comes in and is still very good. And it also makes up for the missing 4th Plague Man to some degree, because in any matchups where Plague Man is good, Vraska is basically good as well. Maybe a turn slower, but still a great card to bring in. And in many matchups where Plague Man is okay, maybe better than some of the main deck things we're doing, but maybe not too much more than that, like against Jund, against Burn, Vraska is a strong upgrade to that 4th Plague Man in those matchups, right? So Vraska is kind of covering our bases really well from the missing QB and the missing 4th Plague Man, while also being good in her own right. And Choke, like I said, is just another way to beat the Urza decks, while also, of course, being good against Control, being good maybe against some Bant mid-range strategies, good against Merfolk. There's decks out there that you can choke out. So the final change is I have actually included an Unearth in the main deck. I think the meta is very interactive, therefore Unearth is pretty well positioned. I have always actually pretty much liked a 1 of Unearth since it's been legal, but when Eldraine came out for a while I played 24 lands, and I also played 2 copies of QB. Those are some reasons not to be on the Unearth. But now that we're back down to 1 QB, and now that we're back down to 23 lands, I think Unearth fits the bill just like it used to, right? So we bring back the Unearth. I have cut a Hexdrinker for it. Now, it might seem a little bit haphazard to have all these one-of threats, but look, they're all liabilities in different ways, potentially in multiples. So I actually don't mind having our core threats as 3 and 4-ofs, which are these cards right here, Bob, Scooz, and Goyf, and then for the supplementary threats, it's just kind of 1-of here, 1-of there. Again, you're never going to run into the, like, this is too clunky to be good in multiples, or too much of a liability to be good, because I have them in multiples, and then when we're sideboarding, we can very easily trim, like, our worst threat. You know what I mean? So that's the thinking here. The final change that I thought about making is I kind of just want to play a second Abrupt Decay in the main deck. We are still a little bit more creature heavy, and I almost feel like I want to get another piece of interaction in there, but at the same time, I don't wish to deviate too much from the list that has been performing so well for us, so let's just leave it there. You know, we'll wonder if maybe the 4th Bob or something could be an Abrupt Decay. I don't really know what the best cut is for it, so let's just run it like this. Here we go, my friends, finding our opponent. So yeah, once again, you know, please check out Sal's channel at Ironworks MTG, and thank you to Sal for your support, and also to all Patreon supporters. You guys know how much I appreciate you, and you know how dedicated I am to carving out time in my day. It really has been. I think people who've been with me for a while can confirm this. It really is a proportional relationship. You know, the more support I get, basically the more money I make, the more I can justify taking time away that otherwise could be spent at work, with my real job, you know, with my family, or with doing other things for the household. So I thank you all so much for doing so, and I hope I continue earning your patronage. Let's find an opponent here. We're going to have some fun. I will say that the meta feels pretty hostile to mid-range right now, but at the same time, my results have been good. I don't really know how to square that circle. Obviously, my sample size isn't huge. Maybe that's just what it is. But I know there's a lot of, like, really, really value-oriented decks out there as well. Like 4-color piles playing Oko and Astrolabe, things like this. Those matchups are tough for us. So I should say maybe it's hostile to a traditional mid-range deck like ours that tries to do a little bit of everything. But we're still going to give it our best shot. We're still optimistic. This hand's super borderline. I think I'm going to keep it just because Inquisition into Goyf is like the ideal 1-2 punch in a blind game 1. However, we're kind of out of ideas after that. So we hope we're not against an attrition deck, but if they go Bloodstained Mire, they probably are. At least they didn't discard us out, right? But drawing another land is just incomprehensibly bad. Already getting punished for this keep. But hey, we'll see how it goes. We've got all the time in the world to top deck good stuff, right? Okay, it's a Shadow deck. So they have Shadow, Dismember, Lightning Bolt. We don't have answers, so even though leaving them with answers to our Goyf is not ideal, we're definitely taking Shadow there. And yeah, they're an attrition deck, so kind of sucks that we are this flooded already. But you know what a good card against them is Field of Ruin. So if they brick on threats for a little while, we can maybe go to work with the field to a significant degree, right? I haven't seen Lightning Bolt, especially main deck, out of a Grixis Shadow deck in a long time. And I haven't really seen Serum Visions either, so opponent going bot. Oh my god. Well, our only consolation here is that their discard is pretty much dead in the water from here on out. Let's hope they have some Thoughtseizes in hand now, right? I doubt they do. They would have fired it off last turn, one assumes, but So from here on out, our best draws are basically either 3-drops like Liliana or Tracker, or actually 1-drops for a little while so we can field and then have interaction. Interesting from the opponent. I guess they thought about dismembering and then chose not to. Okay, they found a shadow. That's pretty terrible. Oh my god, they found 2 shadows. Yep. Okay, Murderous Rider, a good draw. A good draw. I guess we're going to pass and wait for our window here. We'll probably kill something in response to their fetch activation here, just in case they have a Stubborn Denial as their one unknown. There are a few incentives not to, namely the idea that we can, you know, their sequencing will be different if they think both shadows are going to stick around versus now they might sequence differently, but still. Looks like they're just going for it. Looks like they're just going all in on this one big shadow here. And it's hard to blame them, you know? They're probably afraid we've got so much value in hand that they just have to go for the kill. If only they knew. If only they knew. So we're dead to Temur Battle Rage, but whatever. Obviously don't play around that. And we're also dead to just 2 hits. They can bolt Murderous Rider, so we need to top deck a kill spell right away. Tarmogoyf. Alright. Technically that does not kill us. I should say more accurately, technically we're not dead. So I guess what we should do is probably field their Blood Crypt and play a Goyf. Sadly, we'll be chumping with it. Okay, they just bolt us. Alright, they got push. So, you know, look at all this action they had. We just drew nothing. We just drew not much. Not enough to keep up with a shadow anyway. Yeah, I mean, they had 3 shadows in the top 15 cards of their deck, and we were very, very light on interaction. Pretty easy way to lose a match, or rather a game. We haven't lost the match, and hopefully we won't. Vraska and Fulminator are both reasonable. Spellbomb and Finks are both very good. Choke is actually kind of funny against Shadow. It's really not that bad at all. Especially in conjunction with Fulminator, but I don't know how much of the stuff we can afford to do. Plague Engineer is kind of in the category, so of similar power level, but very different functionality. So, let's begin. By cutting a basic, I guess it'll be Swamp. Now, I'm actually a little bit less high on Plague Engineer because they're on Lightning Bolt than I would otherwise be. These 2 cards are the only 2 that 100% have to come in. But I think we're going to try to probably play Fulminator on the play. As always, we can consider cutting all discard. A Collective Brutality is a pretty easy cut. The rest of our deck's pretty good. What if we just play no Plague Men? If we cut... Let's just play all of our hate pieces and all of our value here on the play. That still gives us 2 copies of Thoughtseize to leave in. We don't even need 2, we kind of only need 1. But 2 might still be fine. Alternatively, we could only play 1 and then just get more threat dense on the play with a single Plague Man. Okay, I like it. We could also leave in the 23rd land on the play, but you know, we shouldn't have issues. 22 lands is still a lot of lands. Still have 4 Dark Confidants to draw. Extra cards, still only have 2 4-drops in the entire 60. So yeah, we got a real real ability to attack their mana here. I kind of like it. And we're certainly not lacking for lands. This is a fine keep, really. It's not like an overwhelmingly good one, but it's very acceptable. Very, very acceptable. We don't want them to have discard here. Of course, they're fairly likely to. But we just want to get the Liliana down. Probably not going to happen. Okay, Serum, sure. My play this turn is definitely going to be Scooze unless I draw something else. Just like smacking them with the Goyf early is questionable. Scooze definitely can give them a lot more headaches early. And it's arguably more expendable than Tarmogoyf overall, but that depends really on what their progression looks like. Okay, I mean, I'm not going to complain about more action in the form of Plague Man, but again, it's not the best right now. Not the best. There's the discard. Yep, that sucks. Surely this is a Liliana. If they for some reason leave her, that means they have Stubborn Denial. Yep, Lily. No one-step fetch for the OP. Okay, so we're now in Kolaghan's command range. That would be a little brutal. Okay, Thought Scour, sure. One assumes that there's a Gurmag Angler coming. Can't really stop it, but nor can they do anything with a Snapcaster this turn, so I'm just going to eat the Snap in response to this fetch. Just get a little bit of value out of their graveyard while we can. Again, I expect an Angler to come down right now. It's pretty annoying. What now? Another discard spell or a kill spell, I guess. Or a shadow. Yeah, jeez. And we draw another land. Alright, all we can do is go wide and try to ride out these threats for a little bit. I guess we're going to name Zombie here, because we're likelier to be able to tangle with the Angler fairly in combat. over the next turn or two than we ever are with a Shadow. Shadow we just kind of have to kill by trading Plague Engineer for it or drawing one of our million kill spells. Lately, when I've played Shadow, guys, I just, don't draw kill spells. I think the matchup's good if you have a normal progression, but my progressions lately have been abnormal. Okay, they Thoughtseize us. There's one benefit of flooding, right? You love to see it. That said, opponents still got the advantage in a few different ways. They now have perfect information as well. If they have a kill spell for Plague Engineer, we could be in trouble. Alright, I'm snap trading. Wow. Alright, seems good for us, but who knows what else they've got. Another Shadow, of course. We get punished for this if they can fetch for another red source and bolt us. I don't think that's very likely. Bolt our Skoos, rather. And I think I want to use my mana this turn. Okay, good. Unearth. Good draw. So, we can unearth and then field. Or we should probably just crack Peatland, though. Just crack Peatland. Trophy, I like that. So I'm going to try to unearth first. This might draw a Stubborn Denial if they have one. Alright, let's just try to trophy this. They have it. Okay, they were disciplined with that, but this is still fine for us ultimately. I mean, once again, we're a little soft to a kill spell, but that's just kind of how the matchup goes. Kill spells are just good. Yeah, good play from the opponent, I guess, to let Unearth resolve, but if they don't have a kill spell, it was kind of risky as well, right? Because the Plague Engineer is sort of like a kill spell for a Shadow. Wow, they go down to 1? What's this? Another Angler? Yeah, okay. Sure is. Well, Field of Ruin. Just gotta hold fast. We do have better top decks than they do. They've got a lot more discard in the deck than we do. Oh, gross. Alright, so we're going to field on the end step here to thin out our deck to attack their mana. So let's get that bolt out of there first. Okay. Then since we're only on 1 Unearth, we'll eat our own Plague Man. The life could matter, probably not. And then I'm just going to eat the Blood Crypt just because they play Angler. Nurturing Peatland. Come on, action, action! We've got so much good action in the deck. QB. That's action. Alright, so we are dead to a kill spell if we attack and they have one. What does it look like if they have a kill spell and we stay back? It actually looks okay for us. But I still kind of think we're supposed to make them have one right here. I think it'd be pretty unlucky if they did. Let's go for it. Okay, I was going to say, this is quite the concession lag. The suspense was killing me. Alright, QB to the rescue. Beautiful. Beautiful. Close game, though. Close game. We can call the land hate into question more on the draw. Maybe we just cut choke. Like, Fulminator Mage is obviously just a Grey Ogre as well, and that's pretty fine. I think Choke gets worse on the draw, especially because it can be stubbed, whereas these can't. So let's just cut a Choke, bring back a Thoughtseize. Do we want to also play another copy of Plague Engineer? Again, with them on Lightning Bolt, I dislike Plague Man more than I normally would. But is it just that important to have Death Touch? Maybe I can split Plague Man and Fulminator 2-2 here. I think that's reasonable. Again, on the draw, we don't have anywhere near as much of a free win potential. Oh, you know what? Dark Confidant's a lot worse on the draw here because they can be on Plague Engineer, they could be on Liliana the Last Hope. So I'm also going to trim a Bob. Do we play a third Plague Man or a third Fulminator? Let's just play all three Fulminators. Seems fine. Seems like a fine kind of hedge here on the draw, but the match will more likely tilt upon cards like Fatal Push and Liliana of the Veil than this other stuff. We got a lot of great cards. So many 2-for-1s. Lily, Tracker, Pulse, Rider, Finks. Look at that 3-drop slot for us. It's awesome. This is another very average hand, but it really sucks to maul. I think it's keepable, but really don't love it. They go Basic Island. Okay, we get a Dark Confidant. That's a card. Surely this is Thought Scour, followed by an early Angler. And on the draw... Ooh, Anger of the Gods. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't think that's particularly good against our deck. But there are windows where it'd be good, of course. We have a hand that's pretty soft to it. But generally, I don't think that's a very good card against the Rock. Wow. Okay, just the parade of threats. So what's the most expendable here? I mean, if we imagine, like, maybe Ooze prices them most into dealing with it, then we can go turn 3 Fulminator, turn 4 Double Threat, assuming we continue just missing interaction. Sure. Let's play an Ooze, I guess. Opponent hasn't showed us Kolaghan's Command. I don't know what they would... Okay, they have Dismember, so no matter what we played, it would have died. I don't know if they have Kolaghan's Command. I don't know what they would be cutting if they're playing Anger and Bolts and all the other stuff we've seen, plus still on K Command. I don't know. Really want to fade a Planeswalker or an Angler here, but I assume they have something like that. I mean, Shadow is a problem too. Spike and Angler. They're just, like, only drawing threats, huh? So we're playing Fulminator because it's mana efficient. The question is, do we immediately Stone Rain them to make their next turn worse, or do we gain 5 life by blocking and then Stone Raining? I think, like, our progression is bad enough that I think we have to gain the 5 life. I think we have to make them be able to punish us for this decision. I think we have to gain the 5 life. We have to extend the game and try to out top deck the opponent here. Maybe they'll even spend a spell on Fulminator, you never know. They will? Okay, it's fine with me. That's totally fine with me. I mean, Fulminator still basically gained us 3 life there, or saved a future creature, so... They got another Blood Crypt, though. And a Shadow. Man. Let's draw some removal. Okay, we drew some removal. You love to see it. So... Goyf is kind of unable to stop these things either way. But I guess we still play it just so it doesn't die to anger or bolts, unlike Bob. Kind of stinks that we don't get to have a mana-efficient turn here. But we're going to push on their upkeep. They've got it. They've got everything. Tilted. Tilted. Okay, so they're representing 13 damage right now. If they fetch and shock. They only have 1 card in hand, so we're dead to bolt. But I definitely don't think we should be chump blocking. We're dead to bolt, we're dead to Street Wraith, we're dead to Kolaghan's Command. But we're very dead with no removal in hand if we just start chump blocking with our Tarmogoyf. So we take this hit. Hey, you know, they're dead to QB if they don't have a kill spell. Or they don't have the kill. You gotta be kidding me, they have the burn. Oh, they have Teamer Battle Rage in the deck against us post-side. I don't agree with, like, any of these sideboarding decisions from our opponent. We just didn't draw a removal, so pretty rough. Yeah. Unbelievable. I've been struggling lately against Shadow, guys, and I know it is variance. You can tell from that match it was variance. You could argue, the only thing you could really argue is that we should have maybe mulliganed one of our hands, but that's terrible against Shadow. We really do out-top deck them pretty regularly on average. We just have more threats, and we have more answers, and we have more 2-for-1s. But if we don't draw anything in the way of answers, really, and they curve out, it's kind of tough, obviously, to keep pace, but I mean, they've got a lot of cards that are potentially dead, like Anger, ways to get 2-for-1 with that TBR. Ugh. Feels real bad to have dropped that match, but that's Magic for you sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't matter much beyond the top decking, right? Good game, though. Good game, well played to the opponent. I mean, this is kind of everything we want to see in a blind game 1. I'm going to keep, even though we're desperately in trouble if we don't hit the second land, but the curve is so low and the 1 mana spells are so good here that I think the risk is certainly worth it, and we hit the second land. Nice. Inquisition, you, my friend. Okay, blue-white control sure is. Well, their hand... Oh, my god. Emrakul? So this is Jeskai with Nahiri. Okay, pretty easy take a Snapcaster here, I guess. Their hand does absolutely nothing right now. So, let's just play a Tarmogoyf. Hopefully the only answer they'll have to this is Path, which of course we could use. And they showed us a land that we didn't know about, so there's only one unknown in their hand. Alright, so I guess we will cast Discard because it is going to grow the Goyf when we take a Force of Negation. And I guess I'm going to cast Brutality because we just know it's got targets. Maybe Thoughtseize gets better later in the game. Yeah, I'm fine with the Brutality right now. They drew a third Force of Negation, sure. I actually think I'm just going to Thoughtseize another one right now, simply because that one gets a lot worse by itself. And there's like no world in which we realistically can Thoughtseize something that they don't play. Like, they're either going to draw more permission, or it's going to be something like Cryptic Command, or it's going to be a Planeswalker that they just immediately jam. Stuff like that, you know? Ooze is a very reasonable draw here. Don't hate it at all. Okay, they have a Lightning Bolt, so let's just eat a Force, I guess. Kind of generically attacking their graveyard while still making sure our Goyf stays big. We can Unearth Ooze, so we want to keep a creature over there in case we do that. Okay. So I don't think, like, trading Unearth into the Force is really any good here. I'm just going to cast another Goyf. Now, if they have, like, a Cryptic here or something, then maybe that changes things, but I think we're just going to, if the Goyf resolves, just say go. If they have Cryptic here, then I don't know. Alright, Goyf resolves. Yeah, let's not trade our Unearth with the Force just yet. Okay, looks like they found a Planeswalker. is indeed Nahiri. Alright, so I think what we should probably do here is attack Nahiri off the field, and then have 3 creatures down. It's just like, we don't really have the ability to play around a sweeper, so we might as well give them one last shot at digging for one. Try this first. See if they can somehow force it with another blue card in hand. They will. Pitching Snap. Okay. That's good for us, and we did it this way because now they think they're not dead on board, but with a second Tarmogoyf, they sure are. So, also can draw an untapped land and attack with Quagmire for extra death, or the ability to win through a Path to Exile. Okay, we got him. Tarmogoyf is a heck of a card. Heck of a card when you're against a red-based or red-involved kind of control deck. Alright. So, they're basically a control deck with a combo finish of Nahiri into Emrakul. So, I guess we pretty much are interested in sideboarding as normal. All the stuff's pretty good here. Maybe Vraska, but I don't know how many permanents they're going to play that I care to Abrupt Decay. So I don't know if I want Vraska or not. Maybe we'll wait and see with her. But let's cut a Blooming Marsh. Let's begin by trying to fit all 7 of these in. I think we can. I think we're going to cut our pushes, and we only need 2 more cuts. Let's get rid of 1 Ooze. And something else. I mean, we could just cut Abrupt Decay, assuming they're not doing much. I haven't seen Jeskai Nahiri in a long time. We have this Plague Engineer, though. Let's just cut that. We'll leave in 1 of Decay. It does have at least Snapcaster as a target, even though that's obviously pretty poor, but you never know if they're going to be on Teferi, Detention Sphere, Vendilion Click, things like this, so we will err on the side of a lower curve here on the draw by playing Decay, but not Vraska, and we'll see what they've got for us. Well, they've got a mulligan. That's what they've got for us. We've got a strong hand. We'll keep. I hope these decks don't ever play Blood Moon. We do at least have a swamp if that's the case. Alright. I think we're just jamming Spellbomb here. I think we want to try to get to a point where we can have Hexdrinker survive. Alternatively, we could just get our Treetop Village down. Maybe that's important enough to do. I'll do that. We also want to interact to some degree at least so that the Goyf can survive Lightning Bolt, like get these graveyards filled up a bit. Inquisition, great draw. Let's begin there. It's just what we wanted to see, something like this. Okay, wow, 2-lander, Path, Bolt, Snap. As much as they're a little mono-choked, I think we're just taking the 2 for 1. And I guess jamming Spellbomb for now. Making them waste their turn entirely here. You know, like, trading Hexdrinker with a Bolt isn't that bad, given the context of their hand and our Unearth. But still obviously fine not doing that. I was going to say, we really just want to fade the land drops, but they made it. They made the land drop. What are you going to do? Well, we have Liliana now that we can definitely resolve. But Kitchen Finks against Path, though, is not the best. It's just got to be Lily, right? I actually think I might pitch Finks here. It's either Finks or Hexdrinker. I want to pitch one of the more mana-hungry ones. You know what? Let's pitch Finks and Unearth it. That sounds fun. We'll Unearth it next turn, probably. Liliana Unearth with some powerful synergies here. And they don't have their path any longer, so we gotta fade that 4th land drop here. They would be very lucky to hit it. Ooh, or they just bolt Lily out. Okay. This is fine for us too, really. Chewing through their resources one way or the other. So if they don't hit the 4th land drop, they're just bolting Lily, I bet. They've got a Lightning Helix, so their hand is Bolt Nahiri. We have a Collective Brutality. They can bolt us in response. So, let's just make a nice big board here. Unearth a Finks and play a Tarmogoyf seems great. Oh, they bolt a Finks. That's pretty fine with me, not gonna lie. I understand why they do so, though. They're pretty much all in on... Okay, they don't hit the 4th land. They draw another Goyf. Seems good. Seems real good. Another thing we could do is actually just play Hexdrinker. It's unlikely that they draw yet another Bolt or Helix, and Hexdrinker could get out of control. Or we could, you know what, I'm just going to play both. I'm just going to play both. We're just going to go as wide as possible. Doubt they have Anger of the Gods or anything, and even that, like, our Tarmogoyfs just win through, so... So right now, it's just a Savannah Lions adding to the pressure, and that's that, so... Okay, well, very strong victories here over Jeskai Nahiri. Again, that feels bad to have dropped that exceedingly winnable Shadow match, but we're coming back strong, guys. We got the win here. On we go. On we go, on we go. Unearth looking sweet there in those attrition matchups with Liliana involved and both players a little bit choked on mana. That's really perfect for Unearth. Well, I shouldn't say perfect. It's good. Perfect is when you're in a BGX mirror and you go land pass and your opponent discards you out on their turn 1, taking your tracker. Then you top deck Unearth and you go turn 2, Unearth the tracker, play a fetch land, make 2 clues. Back to you. That's really perfect with Unearth, but hey, we got some good use cases for Unearth. Let's play round 3. This is a one-lander that I'm not going to keep, unlike the amazing one-lander we kept last time. It's got push, but it's a mulligan. I'll do a 1-land 6. I think we're keeping this one. Just because I don't have faith in my deck to go to 5 and win blind game 1s when I'm not sideboarded and I don't know what I need. So we'll bottom our 3-drop, and we will really cross our fingers and hope to hit at least one land right away. Obviously, we kind of need two in the early stages to make Ooze great and to fully function with other top decks, but... And we're against Oko. We're against Urza Oko. So... This is bad, this is bad, this is bad. We just kind of have to assume we're going to hit our second land right away, otherwise our hand doesn't do much. If we do, then we get to decay the Goose. So, I mean, we're probably not beating this deck anyway with their very balanced, good anti-midrange hand. But let's take the Oko, I guess. So we gotta hit an untapped land right now, decay the Goose, and then we gotta probably keep hitting lands to make Ooze and Hexdrinker into good threats. Alright, untapped land. Sure, upkeep Baubolus. What is it? Is it a land? It's a Tarmogoyf. Ugh. Alright, Savannah Lions go. I don't regret the keep. This is a great example of what I'm talking about. We, like almost none of our fives in game one can beat a hand like theirs. They top deck very well. They've got a good balanced mix between value and acceleration and the synergies of their deck. The fact that they're shocking and watery grave is a little scary. I'm afraid they've drawn another Oko. Or even worse, okay, it's just just quote unquote the Vraska. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Alright, I'm done. Again, our fives don't beat this hand. We would need like a perfect 5 and to out top deck them. Not really going to happen. Definitely better to try to draw a second land on the mull to 6. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But we did make some changes. And we have some good stuff to do against this matchup. I am going to treat it like the SultaI Urza deck. I don't think I'm going to sideboard against the combo or against War of Invention. And probably not bring in Surgical Extraction. But I probably do want to consider another Collective Brutality. These cards are playable against different variants in different contexts. Right? You can see my Patreon scouting report if you're a Patreon supporter for details on this. Came out this month, but these 6 are the 6 I really want when they're showing me the value plan. So this Plague Man is in question. Cutting about 2 Lilianas is usually good. What else do we not like so much? I think trimming an Ooze is fine. Yeah, let's play without Plague Men on the play. Try to beat Emery and Vraska and Urza and Goose and Oko and cards like that. And Cryptic Command, trying to beat basically a mid-range deck. I don't know if we have room for the second Brutality though. Might actually trim yet another Scooze and one more. Is it crazy to like maybe consider trimming a discard spell? Yeah, that's probably not good, but at the same time I can kind of see doing it on the play. I haven't really tried it before. Let's try trimming an Inquisition, see how it goes. We could also cut like Tireless Tracker here. Probably do something like that. It's going to be, let's take him to game 3. It's going to be easier to side on the draw, you know. Collective Brutality gets a little worse. Tracker and Confidant get a little worse on the draw. There is the non-bow between Tracker and Ouphe, so yeah, that's a fine one to side out. But we sided out an Inquisition. We'll see if it bites us here. Well, we got Thoughtseize into Ouphe into Choke. Yeah, keep. Oh boy. Well, this could be fun. This could be a fun one. Okay, I guess we don't care about EE. Ooh, or do we? Well, we actually kind of have to take Emery, sadly. Because they can play... Like, we just don't have a kill spell for Emery. And Emery looping Astrolabe is actually a good way for them to beat us. So sadly, I'm going to take Emery here. I mean, I think we're probably just going to choke them out of this game either way. Like, we're going to play Ouphe next turn, and we're probably going to trophy it. Then we get to slam the choke. Thoughtseize, huh? I guess we've got to cast that. They've drawn 2 geese. Alright, well, yeah, we'll take trophy. Sack of food, add 1 mana of any color. I guess we just get the choke down now because they cannot answer it unless they have found another... Yeah, we're just choking right now. And the next turn we want to draw a land so we can kill a goose and play Ouphe. Alright, choke. Alright. If they manage to resolve like an EE on 3 somehow soon, we obviously, as long as we can keep our Ouphe down, they can't even use it. We draw Vraska. Sack of food, add 1 mana of any color. Okay. I think I'm going to play super cautiously here and just kill the goose. Okay, Misty Rainforest. I don't know if they're going to have any non-islands to fetch, but they may. Doesn't seem... Okay, they do have a basic forest, sure. Land. Untapped land, please. Trophy. Alright, well... Now it's just Ouphe time. Don't get me wrong, this is awesome. We have the hate pieces, but our progression could have been lights out if we'd drawn a 4th land in the last turn or 2. I mean, even a Fatal Push here would be pretty great. Okay, Nihil Spellbomb. Hexdrinker. Really just want the 4th land, but I guess we're just dumping out the hand here, just going wide. Alright, now that island, even though it's still liable to get choked, it's actually a pretty good draw because now their Mystic Sanctuary can also enter untapped next turn. That's why they've been slow rolling that. Man, drawing another trophy here, so bad, right? So bad. Do we just put Hexdrinker all the way to level 3 and race? I think we do. These trophies have been actually kind of killing me lately. They're just so much worse in so many spots right now, it seems, than Decay. Hopefully our hate pieces will still do enough work, but we really, by all rights, should be lights out right now. But we're giving the opponent windows back into the game. It's not great. It's not great. So normally Sanctuary buying back, okay, they have Fatal Push. That's the exact card we wanted to fade. That said, I still don't know if it's going to be enough for them, but I was just going to say, like, Sanctuary buying back Trophy is not that good because Ouphe is locking out Astrolabe, but now they got everything. Oh, man, we needed them not to have a push. Really needed them not to have a push. That said, I think they're kind of priced into trophying a creature here. Do we Thoughtseize first? Guess I don't see any reason to. They got a trophy, right? Sorcery, land, creature, instant land, creature. So Goyf plus Hexdrinker is lethal even if they Spellbomb. So yeah, let's attack. They're going to trophy Goyf, I guess. Well, they also have the food token here. Yeah, I mean, we're just attacking first, whatever. Okay, so now we get to Thoughtseize here. Alright, wow. Wow! They found 2 more answers off of their 2 draws. That's insane. That just sucks. Alright, well, I guess we've kind of got to take... I was going to say we got to take Vraska. But maybe that's not true. Maybe we take the least mana-intensive one, which would be Assassin's Trophy. Then again, getting our thing trophied would finally give us our 4th land. EE on 1, crack it, trophy. I guess we're taking EE. Kind of pricing them into... Yeah. Sure, we'll take EE here. That was an interesting call. Oh my god. With all that going back and forth, I forgot they were still choked. That changes everything. Probably shouldn't have forgot that they were choked. Right? This is still fine, though. Choke obviously wins us the game here. So they are priced into trophying one of our things. We're just going to trophy their goose, I guess. Maybe not. That could turn something on. Let's just be cautious. Like if they found another Fatal Push, basically, is what I'm thinking. Because they've got a chump block here anyway. I don't think there's any way we lose from here. If they trophy one thing and chump the other. Yeah, I forgot all about choke. Choke, though. Calculating. What's better, this or that? Well, we had him choke the whole time, so maybe we had lethal. So do we edict their Astrolabe, or do we just tick up? I think we're just going to tick up. Again, shouldn't be possible to lose from here, but this game has gone on longer than it has any right to. And maybe I had a better line if I remembered that they were choked out there, but I think our opening hand was amazing, and then our progression didn't really allow us to capitalize on it, but... we stumbled our way there, guys. We got there. So we'll take it. Choke really showing why I brought it into the 75. But that was kind of easy mode, you know, on the play with Thoughtseize, Ouphe, Choke. And now let's try to do that again on the draw. We have not seen War of Invention. We have not seen Thopter Sword. Nothing that I want to do differently in terms of bringing in sideboard cards, but I will bring back this IOK. Second collective could and maybe just should be in anyway, but yeah, let's cut the tracker here. I don't think I meant to bring in Finks. I think that Finks should have been a Brutality. I'll need to look back at the replay or the recording rather and see if that was just a misclick. Yeah, I think Finks is, like, acceptable here because they are a value deck, but at the same time, I think we should be probably doing better than Finks. I think Brutality is a little bit better overall against this variant. And against any Urza variant, really, I guess. OP will begin with 7. Our hand's strange. Our hand is a strange keep, but it is a keep nevertheless. You can't pass up double Fatal Push, but our mana sucks and we only have 2 lands. Alright, Field could help us fix our mana. but I'd rather draw just like regular black lands, I think. Alright, so they've got double EE. We don't have any creatures. I think I'm just going to take Gilded Goose. It's kind of weird when we have Fatal Push in hand, but their hand's awkward too. It really is. It's a pretty bad hand. It's very beatable. It's just kind of a... Ironically enough, because we both have full grips and it's turn 2, it's kind of a top deck war. Alright. I'm glad they played out the Mystic Sanctuary. It gives us a field target. I'd love to draw just any 2-drop here. Instead we draw another Fatal Push. Yeah, okay. I mean... It's even kind of awkward to cycle Unearth here just because they have a bunch of removal in hand, right? They're just scooping because their hand does nothing and it's just mono blue. And they're probably afraid to get choked next turn, so they'll just scoop instead. Alright, well, we'll take it. You know, the spoiler is that our hand didn't really do anything either, so that was a weird match. But we did it. We did it. We beat Urza. What's up? Yeah, kind of a poor keep from the opponent, but I don't think it was incorrect for them to keep it. You know how it is. Against attrition decks, you don't want to mulligan your hand. They had a lot of gas. They just kind of needed to draw functional mana, and they did not. So, hey, I complain about the card Mystic Sanctuary. It's kind of miserable to play against when you're an attrition player. So, Mystic Sanctuary punishing the opponent for once instead of rewarding them, we'll take it. We'll take it, right? But that's why Choke is great here, because their utility lands are islands as well. It's Mystic Sanctuary is an island. So, I'm high on Choke right now if you want something specifically to beat Urza, and that also has other narrow but powerful applications across the meta. If we learn nothing else from this league, maybe we learn that Choke is reasonable to consider it at this moment in time. Are we going to put Choke on the thumbnail? Is that what's up? Is that what's up today? Do we put this good old 7th edition Choke on the thumbnail? Maybe. We'll have to see. The league's not over yet. Maybe we're going to choke some more people out. Who knows? Who knows? Really liking our sideboard, though, right now. Vraska and Finks both feel really good right now. Fulminator seems necessary and also does have its stock rise mildly because we're back on Unearth as well. The one of Ashiok continues to be a nice hedge against a variety of strats. Choke is awesome. Ouphe is great right now. I don't like to leave home without a Spellbomb. The one Extraction, this might be the weakest card in the sideboard right now, but you know, maybe it could just be another Spellbomb. I haven't seen Neoform in forever. I don't really see combo decks much right now, so yeah, maybe a second Spellbomb to beat Crabvine and other decks like that is a little better than Surgical, but historically I do like the spread between the two. And then, of course, Brutality for burn and for other matchups, and 2 Plague Men. Seems like a good sideboard to me. I can recommend this one, for sure. Hope y'all are enjoying this league. We're having fun. We're doing fairly well, and long may that continue. Here we go into round 4. Narrowly losing the die roll, 6-5. Some big numbers getting tossed around. It's going to be an epic one. Hand looks fine in a blind. Conspicuous absence of a threat, but that is most acceptable when you have a Liliana. Which we do. Scalding Tarn. Is this Storm? Maybe I'm about to eat my words about not seeing combo. I don't think it's Storm off of Blood Crypt Inquisition. Do you? I don't think so. Alright, well. I guess it's a Grixis deck, probably, unless they're just playing Tarn because that's the only fetch they own. You guys know how I feel about Grixis. It's one of these decks where I feel punished for playing like a BGX mid-range deck against because they seem to have just infinite numbers of 2-for-1s. Okay, it is Grixis Shadow. For some reason I wasn't feeling it, but yeah, it is Grixis Shadow. Okay. For some reason I was just reading this as Grixis mid-range, but it's another Shadow matchup. Alright. Thought Scour into... Did they ever not have it? Gurmag Angler. Well, it's a little strange that they left our trophy, so either this was a top deck or maybe they have another Angler. But either way, we're certainly going to tag the Angler before they untap and protect it, right? I'm actually not going to Fetch and Shock there because, especially now that we've drawn Tracker, there's just no way Scooze is like a card we leverage this game. Like, look at our hand. It's just not going to happen. So, therefore, I will preserve my life total instead of getting a second green. Alright, well, I mean, I like that we have more removal in hand. This is what we've conspicuously lacked in the first round against Shadow. We've got Decay for a Shadow, we've got Trophy for an Angler. The only thing we can't beat yet is a second Angler backed up by Stubby D. But, even that, if we... Okay. Scratch all that, we've just got to beat a Shadow, no big deal. No big deal with Abrupt Decay, so... Yeah, even though it's mana inefficient, we don't really have a way to be mana efficient this turn that makes sense, so that's just what we're going to do. I mean, opponents saw these cards in our hand, so this shouldn't come as a surprise. I mean, I suppose they have another Shadow. That's why shocking there makes sense. So now we kind of want to draw another, or an Angler, sure. Now we want to draw another untapped and colored land, and we did. Nice. So, I was going to say, so now we can Brutality to clear the way and then Trophy. But you know what? I think we're actually supposed to just Tracker. Like, we can afford to take a hit or two from this Angler. Not that big a deal, right? Gonna fetch right now, because if they have a kill spell, they might actually use it right now. They don't. Okay. And then we could have unearthed it, which would have been cool. That said, we're not gonna fetch an untapped land. Or we're not going to shock in there. You know, it would be good discipline from the opponent if they slow rolled it. Okay. Snap Thought Scour. That's pretty good for the opponent. They get a couple kind of dirtily draws out of the way that way. We'll take 7. Ooh. Oh no, a Shadow. Come on, come on. You hate to see it. Alright, so we are priced into possibly a chump block coming up. I definitely think we need the Brutality here, just... Gotta get the Stubby D out of the way if they have one. Obviously want to fade like Snapcaster here. If they have another Snapcaster, we're pretty dead. But hopefully they just... Okay, they have Fatal Push TBR? Yikes. I don't think we can beat those two cards. If this had entered untapped, maybe if they Fatal Push too early, we could Unearth the Tracker again and chump. So, I mean, I guess we have to take TBR and then trophy the Shadow. We're technically not dead, but we're going to be pretty far behind, but we are just dead to TBR. And I guess we might as well attack if they let us, but of course they won't. Okay, so we're not dead, but we are in trouble. That said, Unearth is really good tempo here. You know, oh, God. Another snap. Oh, no. What is Shadow doing to us lately? This is insane. We're getting out top deck so hard. Like, it happened off camera, too. I mentioned my 3-2 at the beginning of the league. I actually went 3-0 against non-Shadow decks and 0-2 against Shadow decks. This matchup is good for us, but I'm just like, this is just happening to me lately. And I don't know why. It kind of sucks. Really kind of sucks. I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm going to choke him out maybe on the play. We'll see if I do it. These are all our playables. Ugh, that was nuts. That was nuts. What are you going to do? That was just dumb. Let's cut most discard here. Leave a Thoughtseize in. Stay with all of our good stuff here on the play that can take over the game. These 3 cards are kind of our best. I'm going to play the Choke. We're putting Choke on the thumbnail if it works against Shadow here. So we got to make 1 cut. I guess we're just going to go back to the idea of cutting a land. Sure. That was rough. That was so rough, guys. Ooh. That's alright, you know, like, I genuinely feel favored here with each post-side game. Granted, it would be really nice to win the first one, and then we'd be just having to win one of the 2 post-side, but I think we can do this. It's a hand that's very good if we hit the 3rd land, and if they don't have a perfect curve, it's very good. So we'll keep it. Obviously, you keep even if they do or do not have a perfect curve, we still keep a hand like this. So, okay, Fulminator. Kind of don't want to draw another 3-drop. Kind of really just need to draw our 3rd land. But, hey, if Bob sticks, which I doubt he will, but if Bob sticks, yeah, we're that much likelier to hit the 3rd land, and then we're off to the races. Thought Scour. Okay. So hopefully they can't kill Bob this turn and do something else very impactful. Hopefully they just can't kill Bob at all, but of course, I've like literally never played against Shadow where they don't have a Fatal Push, whereas I often lack my Fatal Pushes. Is this just an Angler? EE. Okay, please 3rd land. Untapped 3rd land. This is our window. Wouldn't you know, we whiff. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. Again, this is kind of how my life is against Shadow these days. Just like cursed in the matchup. We have like an amazing amount of value in hand, but now we just can't take advantage of it. And now our Fulminators get a lot worse with that EE around. So it's just kind of total non-bow central over here. I mean, yeah. You don't mull a 2-lander. Okay, so this is where it gets real dangerous because they've got all kinds of 2-for-1s that can answer Bob. Planeswalkers, Plague Engineers, Kolaghan's Commands. I really hope they don't have any of them, but... Kolaghan's Command, buying back Gurmag Angler. Kill our creature, make a 5/5. Seems good, but if we just draw our third land, we are Liliana Edicting, untapped third land. What is happening? What is happening? This is so absurdly unlucky. Hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't cut a land on the play, but yeah, again, 22 lands, this is statistically anomalous. I mean, we're just giving them so many more windows than they should realistically have to pull ahead. Alright, now we just kind of can't beat their board. There's the third land right on cue. Well, it's Liliana time, I guess. We gotta start chewing through the board and hope they can't kill us. Okay, I think that means they have a kill lined up. I think they probably want to sack a Shadow there unless they have the kill lined up this turn. They only have to lose one more life and they've got us. Okay. I mean, what are you going to do? You fight hard, you earn your wins, and then in your losses, stuff like this happens. It's a little tough. It's a little tough to see. Well, we didn't get to choke him out that time. We're the ones who got choked on mana. I don't know if we should revise the idea of siding out a land there. It's just like, it is a grindy matchup. It is an attrition-based matchup. And I don't think we want to be results-oriented and say, oh, because we got land screwed and didn't hit our third land for 4 draws in a row that time, let's not do it anymore, because it is a top deck war, it is an attrition-based matchup, and they've got way fewer lands than we do. That's their one kind of advantage in the top deck war, so we could just as easily flood, right? Feels bad, man, feels bad. But, you know, our league's still going okay. And we do have, once again, a hand that really needs to draw the third land, but if it does, it's good. We're against blue-white, or Jeskai Control. Alright. Cryptic, Helix, Verdict, Monolith. What a perfect, and I do mean perfect, hand against us. Because they can Helix our Ooze early. They can leak our Liliana on curve. And they've got 2 massive catch-up cards. I don't really know what to do here. I think we need to take Monolith and go all in on Liliana. But in the face of Cryptic Command, that's far from foolproof. And of course they have other ways to top deck answers to her. Anyway. Let's just see a third land here. We got it. Nice. Nice. If we had done that against Shadow, we're basically 100% to win that last game with the hand that we had. But let's not dwell on that any longer. So now, if we had known about the third land, we actually would probably not have taken Monolith. We would have taken, like, Cryptic. Because it would be likely enough that they just do this, that we could have resolved Liliana anyway. So if we're going to take up and pitch a land, we should pitch Blooming Marsh. But I think we're just going to take up, pitch an excess Lily, and jam QB on curve. Am I lagging here? What's going on? Okay. They lose Cryptic. How interesting. I expected Verdict to go before Cryptic, but sure. Unearth. Is it weird that I kind of want to... I'd almost rather unearth Scooze than play QB? Is that just bad? That's probably just bad. I guess we should make them Verdict next turn and, like, Helix or whatever can answer Scooze. We could also have gotten super greedy and pitched a land there and unearthed and then hope to draw another untapped land, but I don't think that's a realistic play. I think we have to do something more guaranteed like this. Ugh. Pretty punished for that decision all in all because they do have a path. But then again, they've got a Verdict kind of rotting in hand unless they can answer Liliana. We've gotten Teferi and Cryptic out of their hands, so I mean that's big game. I guess we crack Peatland first, but drawing another Liliana is a pretty free pitch here. But on the other hand, I could just pitch a Swamp too, which I think I will. So if they don't have an answer, we get to Alts, followed by another Lily, which is purely amazing. They got a Helix or something here? Cryptic. How are they always going to top deck Cryptics, man? How's it always got to be that way? Alright, they got one unknown in hand. We draw a Treetop Village, which is a fine draw. All things considered. Fine enough that we're going to pitch our other Lily here. Okay, so they just had 2 lands off their 2 draw steps. It's pretty fine, but at the same time, like, they kind of need this 5th land to make all of their top decks live, including Celestial Colonnade and more Teferis. But they just draw a 6th land. That's pretty great for us. Unfortunately, we do the same thing. Any kind of proactive play there would have been amazing. Opponent just flooding, though. Good news for us, obviously. Again, I repeat, as are we. But hey, better to flood when you're the one with Liliana and Treetop, am I right? The flood status quo is pretty good for us. So they've got to find an answer this turn or we're alting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, the alt is not that crippling any longer. Okay, they drew a Helix. Sure. Peatland's pretty good because we can tick up, and now even if we draw a reactive card off of Peatland, we don't need to lose it, which is exactly what happens. Do we love Treetop Village or what? What a card. Okay, I guess we're pitching Catacombs here. Opponent drew Permission. Okay, so opponent falls to 11. If they had not helixed us twice, they would be at 5. And we're creeping Lily back up toward that ultimate. Alright. Tarmogoyf a good enough draw to make us tick up and pitch this push. For sure. Oh, we get Path to Exile out of their hand? Good timing. Okay. So opponent dead on board, and also staring down the Liliana alts. Alright. We got lucky there with the amount that they flooded. No doubt about it. I felt... It's happened to me before where they top deck a Cryptic Command and that's the beginning of the end when you've otherwise maneuvered yourself into a decent position, but they don't always have it, and in this case they sure didn't have it. So, pretty cool. And once again, I mean, we've gotten to side and choke a lot. I guess this is another instance of that. I think we definitely want Kitchen Finks against the Jeskai Supreme Verdict deck. Like, the less red they play, the worse Finks gets against Control. And also, it's a lot worse against Terminus than it is against Verdict. So, there you have it. Jeskai is less likely to play 3-drops that you can decay. So, Vraska's more of a maybe. I am going to play Fulminators. And I am probably going to play the second Brutality, and that's probably about it. So let's cut a Blooming Marsh. I think I'm going to cut the Decay and then maybe try to play Vraska over it just for the value. But the pushes go, these all come in, Plague Man goes. That's a good 60. Do we have room for Vraska? And if so, in place of what? Let's play only 2 Fulminator here on the draw. I still don't like the non-bow of Fulminator and Trophy, obviously, but it doesn't always come up. And they both have use cases that don't involve the non-bow. For instance, if you trophy a Colonnade, you haven't ramped them. And Fulminator can still be useful even if the Stone Rain mode is not live. So it's not maybe as bad as it looks, but yeah, we keep this. It's a familiar refrain at this point, but we need that third land. We need it. And we don't get it right yet, but... So I think what we do here will be very contingent upon whether we draw the third land. We don't. We draw Inquisition. I kind of want to cast Collective Brutality here, because that still fights through permission, and it lets me go Bob and Inquisition into Bob next turn if I draw the third land. On the other hand, if they just have like a Helix to fire off in response, then it could whiff. Maybe they have like little Teferi or Snapcaster stuck in hand. So Collective Brutality is a little higher risk, high reward. I think I'm going to Inquisition, actually. I think I talked myself into Inquisition, but you can understand the incentive for either one. This, of course, is going to let us run out Spellbomb this turn, which is pretty good. And, yeah, so our Brutality would have hit, but this is still fine. Let's just take a snap. What's not fine is them having a Jace in hand. We can't do anything about that. Pretty much at all, because they've got a million ways to protect it from our Bob. Not that Bob's a good way to pressure Jace in the first place. So we kind of need to draw like a Thoughtseize right now. Or a kill spell for Jace after he lands, which is still not ideal. Okay, we have drawn Blooming Marsh. It's pretty good overall. So definitely needed that third land. I guess we're going to try to outgrind the Jace using this Liliana and then maybe pressure from Treetop Village and or double grinding power from Lily and Vraska. And to that end, I think I'm going to pitch Confidant, because not only does he die to everything in their hand, but we could also have a really tempo-positive turn by unearthing him. But really what I want to do is, what I would love to do is unearth a Tracker or a Finks in this matchup, in this spot. Okay, so they pitched one Helix, but they used the other on Lily, which is really kind of strange to me. I think they would have pitched the Path, right? Especially if they knew they had the 4th land for Jace. But maybe they're going to do something else this turn. No, it's just Jace, sure. Okay, I mean, we get to just kill him with Treetop Village. This seems fine to me. Like, a lot of what we're up to is not ideal, but it does seem fine to me. I think at this point I'm going to pitch Collective Brutality rather than another Bob. Okay, you know, our Lily did so much work, I don't mind that. Unfortunately, we just are kind of Bob flooded, but I guess that's not that bad. Let's unearth this Bob, see if this resolves. Obviously kind of bad against a sweeper, but we know they have a path in hand. Getting one of these Bobs pathed if they can't answer the other one is not bad. Logic not for one. Okay, so they're going to answer both Bobs this way. But we have a third one in hand, and they hopefully have to path this one. I hope they don't have anything better than path. So we want to fade Planeswalkers. We want to fade Helix and Bolt. They got to path them. At last. So do we get a third forest or a third swamp? We get forest here, I guess. Okay. Do we just try to jam Vraska under permission? I think probably the answer is yes to that. Before they have Cryptic online. Nice. Start drawing some cards. We're holding up Spellbomb activation this way. Sweet. Opponent shocking in. Did they have a Teferi? I think they might. Oh, no. Alright, I think it's kind of mission critical. I think we're going to Spellbomb before they get to untap. Gotta find more action, gotta get this Teferi off the field this turn if at all possible, and we did with a Maelstrom Pulse, unless they drew permission. Got a message, I'll have to read this later. I just don't know, does Xing out a message? I hope it's still open in another window. I've never not read it right away, but unless it's something private. In case it's something private, I don't want to read it on camera. So, Buford, if I don't get back to you, message me again. Not sure who that is, but what's up, my friend? Okay, so trophy draw is actually pretty good, I guess. Allowing us to beat permission and get the guaranteed kill on Teferi this turn. Alright. Do we want to keep Field around? I don't think I do. We have the trophy to kill a Colonnade, and they're not on too many Colonnades. Our mana's getting too bad if we sack another colored source. There's a Scooze. Alright, cool. Let's play Bob, though. Well, boy, am I glad we found an answer to Teferi. That was nice. Okay, I suppose the opponent either had a land off Teferi or another expensive card. Okay, EE on 2 gets to kill Bob right now. Yeah, that sucks, but we are very close to embleming Vraska. Alright. I guess we're going to continue to cash in lands here. Inquisition not really rewarding us for doing that. We could have drawn a land and had a great turn with Tracker. Instead, I guess we just play Scooze here and say go. Scooze is not bad at all. And with Scooze and Treetop and just like any threat connecting can be lethal. Vraska looking awesome here. Remember how I said we're going to err on the side of value? Like if we're not sure how many decay targets they'll present, we just play the Planeswalker version of Decay. And that's the concession. My client's super laggy today. Super laggy. But not so laggy that we don't see the concession and the victory. Alright guys, well, this was, I think, a super interesting league because we beat a lot of value-oriented decks, we beat a lot of tough decks, and we dropped 2 games to Shadow. And like I explained, this is literally what happened when I took my 5-0 list out for a rerun, for running it back, and went 3-2. Again, beating tough matchups and dropping games to Shadow. I guess that's a good sign, because if we can hang with a lot of the more traditionally difficult matchups or some of the top decks of the format, I will say for about the 5th time this league, I still think Shadow's a good matchup. Not much has changed for them. They, got Drown in the Loch. Okay, good card, but not, backbreakingly good against us, just like another live card. And we weren't losing to Drown in the Loch, we were losing to their old stuff. We were losing to them out-top-decking us, which I don't think should happen. I don't think it should happen. Maybe that's just me. You can tell me if you disagree, but historically, my record against Shadow is extremely strong. I'm talking 75-25 over the course of my channel until about a week ago, and lately they've been pasting me. They've been pasting me, and I think it's just variance, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, my friends. So, anyway, that was a pretty cool league. It was not another 5-0, but it was a strong one. We saw the usefulness of Choke, and we saw that the Rock definitely, when built this way, has a lot of ability to grind. Has a lot of ability to hang with traditionally tough matchups and very value-oriented ones like Urza decks and Control decks and so on and so forth. So I'm pretty pleased with it. Again, especially that first round, really felt like that one should have been ours. They did, to be fair, 2-0 us in round 4 with the Shadow deck, so feels more like a 4-1 league as far as how our deck ran than a 3-2, but we'll still take it. We're never going to turn our nose up at a positive result, so there you go. There you have it. A lot of people have been saying, I'm very happy to see you play Jund. A few people have said, that's fine, but please don't stop playing Rock. I'm never going to stop playing Rock unless it's just, not even in the same galaxy as Jund. Even if it's, notably worse, even if I find it to be notably worse, I'll still stay on top of the Rock meta for you guys, and because I don't think it's ever going to be that far behind Jund. There are just too many advantages to playing only 2 colors, even though I think Jund is the better deck overall right now. So anyway, there you go, guys. There you have it. Hope you enjoyed this league, and I hope you will stay tuned to the channel. I think the thing we're going to do next is maybe play a couple of quick mono red prowess leagues. My win rate on that deck has been very, very nice. And I'm still new, I'm still not sure about a few sideboarding decisions, and I'm still doing a few kind of unique things in my build. I would love to show you a couple of my recent leagues in replay form. I think that's the next thing we'll do on this channel. But as always, let me know what you want to see. It's been a while since we played Pioneer, maybe we have to delve into that too, but the same time, I kind of want to bide my time on Pioneer, wait for the Oko ban personally. But, you know, at the end of the day, I do what the viewers and the supporters want. So let me know about that, and let me know what you thought about these games. I will talk to you soon. Hope everybody out there has a wonderful day.